How are you guys doing? It is Thursday, September 17th, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through yesterday's baseball and then help you to show you what games to look forward to today because it is Thursday. There's going to be a lot coming today, but compared to yesterday at least. So I'm going to first take you out to baseball because baseball was really the only sport that was played yesterday. But first, I'm going to start out in the Central just to let you know what's going on out there. But first, starting out in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Brewers hosted the St. Louis Cardinals for a doubleheader. For the first game, Adam Wainwright picked up his fifth win of the season, allowing 2 earned runs in 7 innings pitched, striking out 9, versus Brandon Woodruff, who allowed 3 earned runs in 7 innings, striking out 5. For the Brewers, I mean, their elite left fielder Christian Yelich finished 1 for 3 with a run on the day. Keston Hiura, their second baseman, would finish 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run, as he hit his 13th home run of the season and got both RBIs on the day for the Brewers in the first inning. For the St. Louis Cardinals, in addition to Adam Wainwright, their elite first baseman Paul Goldschmidt would go 1 for 3 with a run. O'Neill would hit his sixth home run of the season as he finished 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run. And then Brad Miller, their designated hitter, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. He hit his seventh home run of the season. Going on to the second game of the doubleheader, the Milwaukee Brewers would blank the Cardinals 6-0 in a relief pitching game, just well pitched from both sides. But for the St. Louis Cardinals, they got completely blanked. Only 2 hits were allowed in the game, and that was by the Milwaukee pitcher Suter, their starting pitcher for the day. For Milwaukee, their elite left fielder Christian Yelich would go 0 for 2 with a run and 2 walks. Their right fielder Ryan Braun would finish 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a run. He hit his sixth home run of the season in the first inning. And just continuing on, their shortstop Orlando Arcia finished 2 for 3 with a run on the day. With this doubleheader split, the St. Louis Cardinals are 22-23, and the Milwaukee Brewers are now 23-26. Jumping to Cincinnati, the Reds hosted the Pittsburgh Pirates and beat them 1-0. Only run was scored in the fifth inning off of a Shogo Akiyama single. But with this win, Luis Castillo would pick up his third win of the season. He would allow no earned runs in 7 innings pitched, striking out 10 batters, only walking 1. Brubaker would pick up the loss for Pittsburgh as he allowed only 1 earned run in a little over 5 innings, striking out 4 batters. And additionally, just for the Reds, the right fielder Nick Castellanos would finish 2 for 4. And with this win, the Cincinnati Reds are officially 25-26 as the Pirates drop to 14-34. Just continuing to stay out there in the Central, jumping to Detroit. The Kansas City Royals came into Detroit. We would have beat them 4-0 as Singer picked up his third win of the season. Brady Singer would allow no earned runs in 6 innings pitched, striking out 8 batters on the day. Scuba would pick up the loss for Detroit as he allowed 2 earned runs, 3 total in 6 innings, striking out 8. For the Tigers, of course, not much hitting going on. They were only Singer only allowed 2 hits. The Royals only allowed 2 hits as a team. For the Royals, their right fielder, Whit Merrifield, will go 2 for 4 with 2 runs on the day. Salvador Perez, their catcher, would go 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a run. Adalberto Mondesi went 2 for 4 with a run. It was mainly just those 3 guys working for the Kansas City Royals, but with this win, the Royals are 21-29 as the Detroit Tigers are now 21-27. Just saying that there. Jumping to Chicago next. The Chicago White Sox hosted the Minnesota Twins, and the Twins beat them 5-1. Odorizzi would get the start, and Giolito would pick up his third loss of the season for the White Sox, by the way. He would allow 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitched, striking out 4. For the White Sox, it was mainly just Abreu. Jose Abreu would hit his 16th home run in the fourth inning as he finished 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Jumping out to Minnesota, their left fielder Eddie Rosario will go on to finish 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs. He hit his 11th home run of the season. Their center fielder Byron Buxton hit his 10th home run of the season as he finished 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. Miguel Sano would hit his 12th home run of the season as the first baseman would go 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. With this win, the Minnesota Twins are now 31-20 and the White Sox are 32-17. And speaking of Chicago, jumping out to Wrigley, the Chicago Cubs hosted and beat the Cleveland Indians 3-2 in the 10th inning off of a Javier Baez walk-off single in the 10th. Big play, big win for him. First off, starting off with Cleveland, it would be Savali who got the start. Aaron Savali would allow 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched, striking out 3. And then out of their hitters, their elite shortstop, Francisco Lindor, would go 0 for 4 with a run. Their third baseman, Jose Ramirez, would go 2 for 3. Or 2 for 4. I mean, not much else going on with that. Jumping out to Chicago, their elite third baseman, Chris Bryant, would go 1 for 4 on the day. Their elite shortstop, Javi Baez, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Of course, the game-winning RBI. And then their left fielder, Cameron Maybin, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI. With this win, the Chicago Cubs are 30-20, and with this loss, the Cleveland Indians are 26-23. So that's the West, or that's the Central, I'm sorry. But really quickly, I'm going to jump out to the East just to show you what's going on out there. Starting out in Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Rays hosted the defending champions, Washington Nationals, and the Nationals were able to beat them 4-2 in extra innings. Off of a Luis Garcia home run to eventually put this game away. Big play for them. Big game for them. For the Tampa Bay Rays, their second baseman, Brandon Lowe, would finish 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run. He was their biggest contributor for the game. And I mean, he would hit his 13th home run of the season off Hudson. And jumping to Washington, first off, their shortstop, Trey Turner, would go 2 for 4. Their elite left fielder, Juan Soto, would go 0 for 3 with a run as he walked once and he struck out. Asdrubal Cabrera would go 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and run. He hit his 7th home run of the season. With this win, the Washington Nationals are 18-29 as the Tampa Bay Rays are 31-18 with this loss. Of course, staying out here, but jumping to Miami, the Miami Marlins hosted the Boston Red Sox and beat them 8-4. As both teams played a lot of pitchers, no one really pitched a lot of innings. But jumping to Boston, their center fielder, Alex Verdugo from LA, would finish 3 for 4 with 2 runs on the day. It looks like J.D. Martinez hit his 5th home run of the season as the designated hitter, went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. Continuing on, their right fielder, Yairo Munoz, would finish 2 for 5 on the day as well. Jumping out to Miami, their first baseman, Garrett Cooper, would finish 1 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. He hit his 4th home run of the season. Their catcher, Jorge Alfaro, would finish 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs. He hit his 3rd home run of the season. I mean, he hit 2 home runs, but his 3rd of the season was hit last night as well. He has 3 on the season. With this win, the Miami Marlins are 25-22, and with this loss, the Boston Red Sox are 18-32. Jumping out to Philly, the Philadelphia Phillies hosted the New York Mets, and the Mets were able to beat them 5-4 after really kind of rallying. The Phillies were up 4-0 at the end of the third, and then the Mets really kind of came back, eased in, and took the win. For Philadelphia, Zach Wheeler would be the starter. He'd allow 3 earned runs in 7.1 innings pitched, striking out 2 batters. DeGrom would get the start for the Mets, but he would allow 3 earned runs in 2 innings pitched, and they'd eventually seat him. But looking into Philly, their elite designated hitter Bryce Harper would go 0 for 5, striking out 3 times. Their third baseman, Gene Segura, would go 4 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs. He hit his 6th home run of the season last night. And then looking at the Mets, their designated hitter, J.D. Davis, would go 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. And just looking through Pete Alonso would pinch hit. He'd go 0 for 1. And just looking through, it was mainly just J.D. Davis who had a really, really big game for the Mets. With this win, the Mets are 22-27, and the Philadelphia Phillies are now 24-24. Jumping out to New York, the New York Yankees were able to beat the Blue Jays 13-2 last night as Garrett Cole picked up his 6th win of the season against Tanner Roark. Garrett Cole would allow 1 earned run in 7 innings with 8 strikeouts, the Yankees' elite pitcher. And jumping into Toronto, looking into how they did, their elite first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., would go 1 for 4 on the day. Not much going on for them. Going out to New York, their second baseman, DJ LeMahieu, would go 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 3 runs. He hit 2 home runs and a double. He has 9 home runs on the season, and kind of just continuing on those lines. Aaron Hicks would go 1 for 3 with 2 runs on the day. Luke Voit, the Yankees' first baseman, would go 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs on the day and a run. He hit his 19th home run of the season. That's the major league lead. Clint Frazier, their left fielder, would go 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run. Clint Frazier was kind of going off, especially. He hit his 7th home run of the season as well. And the Yankees catcher, Kyle Higashioka, would go on to finish 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs and 3 runs. And he had a pretty wild game as well. He hit 3 home runs on the day, and he now is 4 on the season. With this win, the New York Yankees are 28-21, and with this loss, the Baltimore Orioles are now 26-22. Jumping out to Baltimore, the Baltimore Orioles hosted the National League East leading Atlanta Braves and were able to beat them 5-1 at home as Akin picked up the win. Akin would allow no earned runs, striking out 9 batters in 5 innings. On the other end, Cole Hamels, the World Series champ back in Philly, he would allow 3 earned runs in 3 innings pitched, striking out 2. Looking up to how Atlanta hit, their elite center fielder, Ronald Acuna Jr., would go 0 for 4, striking out 3 times. Atlanta Braves elite first baseman, Freddie Freeman, would go 1 for 3 with a run on the day, and he walked. Travis d'Arnaud, their designated hitter, would go 2 for 4 on the day. I'm looking out to Baltimore. Their shortstop, Jose Iglesias, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. Kind of continuing on. Their designated hitter, Renato Nunez, would go 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs on the day. With this win, the Baltimore Orioles are 22-27. With this loss, the Atlanta Braves are 29-21. With that said, I'm going to, last but not least, hop out to the West, show you what's going on out there. First on, the Colorado Rockies hosted the Oakland A's, and the A's were able to beat them 3-1. Mike Fiers would get his 6th win of the season. He allowed 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched, striking out 4. And German Marquez will pick up his 6th loss of the season as he allowed 3 earned runs, striking out 6 batters and a little under 7 innings pitched. Just looking out for the Rockies, their elite third baseman, Nolan Arenado, would go 1 for 4 on the day. Tapia would go 2 for 4 on the day. Ramiro Tapia, he also had an RBI on the day. Looking out to the Athletics, their designated hitter, Tommy La Stella, would go 2 for 4 with a run on the day. And their third baseman, Jake Lamb, would go 2 for 4 on the day. With this win, the Oakland Athletics are 31-19. With this loss, the Colorado Rockies are 22-26. Jumping out to San Diego, the Dodgers came into town and were able to beat the Padres 7-5 to clinch the first spot in the MLB playoffs. Looking out to how the Padres did, just looking at to how their shortstop, their elite shortstop, Fernando Tatis Jr. would go 0 for 4 with a strikeout on the day. Their elite third baseman, Manny Machado, would go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. He would hit his 14th home run of the season. Profar, their left fielder, would go 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a run as he hit his 7th home run of the season. Continuing on to LA, their elite right fielder, Mookie Betts, would go 2 for 5 with a run on the day. Their catcher, Will Smith, would go 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. He's been playing incredibly well. And with this win, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 35-15 with the best record in all of baseball. And with the second best record in all of baseball in the loss, the San Diego Padres are now 32-19 on the season, especially in the National League West. Continuing on, we're going to jump right out to Houston, where they took on the Texas Rangers, where the Rangers were able to beat them 1-0 off of a Joey Gallo ground rule double in the 9th to put the Rangers up and give them the only win. Looking out to how the pitchers performed, Lance McCullers Jr. would allow no earned runs in 7 innings pitched, striking out 8 batters. And then for Texas, it would be Kyle Gibson who would pick up the complete game shutout. He would allow no earned runs, striking out 9 batters in the 9 innings as well. And then just going to the hitters, first off for Houston, their elite second baseman, Jose Altuve, would go 1 for 3 with a walk on the day. Their elite third baseman, Alex Bregman, would go 1 for 3 with a walk on the day. Jumping out to the Rangers, their center fielder, Leody Taveras, would finish 2 for 4 with a run on the day, and then Joey Gallo would finish 1 for 4 with the RBI at the game. With this win, the Rangers are 18-31, and the Houston Astros are now 24-25. Going out to Anaheim, the Angels hosted the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks were able to beat them 9-6. They just kind of had them overwhelmed for the entire game. Looking at how the Angels did, their first baseman, Jared Walsh, has been hitting pretty well. Last night he finished 2 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs on the day. He hit his 7th home run of the season. Mike Trout, the Los Angeles Angels GOAT level center fielder, would go 1-for-4 with an RBI on the day. The Angels' elite third baseman Anthony Rendon would go 0-for-5 with an RBI. Their left fielder Justin Upton would go 2-for-3 with an RBI and 2 runs. He hit his 7th home run of the season. And Stassi, their catcher, would go 3-for-4. Max Stassi would also finish with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 5th home run of the season in the 2nd inning. And Andrelton Simmons, their shortstop, would finish 2-for-4 with a run on the day for them. And looking out to how Arizona did, their right fielder Cole Calhoun would go 2-for-5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. He had a pretty big game. As he hit his 12th home run of the season last night. David Peralta would hit his 5th home run of the season as well, as the left fielder went 3-for-4 with 2 RBIs and 3 runs. And Nick Ahmed, their shortstop, would go 2-for-4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. With this win, the Diamondbacks are 19-31, and with this loss, the Angels are 20-30 on the season. And the last game of the night, the Seattle Mariners hosted the San Francisco Giants, and the Giants were able to get their 24th win of the season, beating them, like I said, just beating them 9-3. Just looking at how the hitting went for Seattle, their center fielder Kyle Lewis would go 2-for-5 on the day. He was the only player that had more than 1 hit on the day. Jumping out to San Francisco, their right fielder Mike Yastrzemski would go 1-for-4 with an RBI and 2 runs on the day. He had a pretty wild game. Brandon Belt would hit his 8th home run of the season as the first baseman finished 2-for-5 with 2 RBIs and a run. Evan Longoria, former AL MVP, would hit his 6th home run of the day as he finished 2-for-5 with an RBI and a run on the day. And JP Crawford would finish, Brandon Crawford would finish 3-for-5 with an RBI and 2 runs on the day. He hit his 5th home run of the day. Continuing on, their left fielder Alex Dickerson would go 3-for-5 with an RBI and 2 runs. Donovan Solano, their second baseman, would go 2-for-5. And just with that, I mean, the Giants had 15 hits overall as a team, and with this win, the Giants are 24-24, as the Seattle Mariners are now 22-27. Giving you a quick look into what baseball games to look forward to today. Today is Thursday. I imagine a lot of series are getting started, some are ending. But first, starting off, it looks like Nathan Eovaldi is going to try to get his 3rd win of the season as the Red Sox take on the Marlins at 1 o'clock. Kenta Maeda is 5-1 of the season and he's looking to continue his hot streak as the Twins take on the White Sox at 2:10. Continuing on, Blake Snell, former AL Cy Young winner, is looking to get his 5th win of the season as the Rays take on the Orioles for the first game of their doubleheader at 4:35. Masahiro Tanaka and the Yankees look to take on the Blue Jays at 7:05. That's going to be impressive. Aaron Nola is looking to get his 6th win of the season because he's starting to get really good all of a sudden as the Phillies are going to take on the New York Mets. Dakota Hudson is looking to get his 4th win for the Cardinals as the Cardinals take on the Pirates at 7:05. Shane Bieber is looking to get his 8th win for the Cleveland Indians as they take on Casey Mize and the Detroit Tigers at 7:10. And then Julio Urias is looking to get his 4th win of the season as he takes on Kyle Freeland and the Rockies at 8:40. So those are all the games to look forward to in baseball. And really quick, before I get into what to look forward to with the other sports, I'm going to take you quickly through the stats leaders as of right now because it is Thursday, just to give you a sense for how these teams are doing. But first, I'm going to take you through the individual players. But first off, just in terms of who's touching the plate the most, who's scoring the most, Fernando Tatis currently leads the league in runs with the San Diego Padres elite shortstop leads the league in runs with 46 runs in 51 games. And tied in second are both Atlanta Braves. It's the Atlanta Braves elite first baseman Freddie Freeman and their shortstop Dansby Swanson, who both have 43 runs in 50 games for the Atlanta Braves this year. In terms of who's leading the way in hits, Jose Abreu, the first baseman for the Chicago White Sox, and Trey Turner, the shortstop for the Washington Nationals, both lead the league in hits with 66 on the season. Trey Turner's done so in 2 less games, but they're both leading the league in hits. And Freddie Freeman, the elite first baseman from the Atlanta Braves, is 3rd in the league in hits with 63 hits in 50 games. Jumping out to doubles, who's leading the league in doubles, Freddie Freeman from the elite first baseman for the Atlanta Braves, and Christian Walker, the first baseman from the Arizona Diamondbacks, both lead the league with 18 doubles. Christian Walker's done it in 2 less games, though. And in 3rd place, it's Dominic Smith, the left fielder from the New York Mets, who has 17 doubles in 41 games. Jumping out to the triples leaders, right now Kyle Tucker for the Houston Astros still leads the league in triples with 6 triples in 47 games. And then Tied for second in triples, you have Trey Turner, the shortstop for the Washington Nationals, and Mike Yastrzemski, the center fielder for the San Francisco Giants, who both have 4 triples on the season. Looking at the league home run leaders right now, Luke Voit, the first baseman from the New York Yankees, leads the league in home runs with 19 of them in 45 games. And tied for second place with 16, you have Jose Abreu, the first baseman from the Chicago White Sox, Nelson Cruz, a designated hitter for the Minnesota Twins, and Mike Trout, the GOAT-level center fielder for the Los Angeles Angels. Jumping out to who's leading the league in RBIs. Right now, Jose Abreu, the first baseman for the Chicago White Sox, leads the league in RBIs with 49. Freddie Freeman, the elite first baseman from the Atlanta Braves, is second in the league with 46 RBIs. And Luke Voit, the first baseman from the New York Yankees, is third in the league in RBIs with 45. Looking at walks, right now, Carlos Santana from the Cleveland Indians, their first baseman, has the most walks in baseball. He's been walked 41 times in 49 games. In second, Bryce Harper from the right field, the elite right fielder from the Philadelphia Phillies, has been walked 37 times in 46 games. And in third place, elite first baseman from the Atlanta Braves, Freddie Freeman, has been walked 36 times in 50 games. In terms of who's striking out most as a batter, right now, the current lead goes to Miguel Sano, the first baseman from the Minnesota Twins, who's struck out 74 times in 45 games. In second place, Keston Hiura, the second baseman of the Milwaukee Brewers, has struck out 67 times so far. And tied for third with 65 strikeouts, it's the elite shortstop from the Chicago Cubs, Javier Baez, and the right fielder from the Texas Rangers, Joey Gallo. Looking out to the stolen bases leaders, Adalberto Mondesi from the Kansas City Royals leads the league in stolen bases with 17 of them. Trevor Story, the shortstop from the Colorado Rockies, is second with 14 stolen bases. And Manuel Margot, the center fielder from the Tampa Bay Rays, is third in the league in stolen bases with 12 of them. Right now, looking out to batting average really quickly. But first, I'll go to the caught stealing, because right now, Adalberto Mondesi has been caught stealing the most times. He's been caught stealing 6 times. And tied for second with 5 times getting caught stolen, it's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa of the Texas Rangers, Nicky Lopez, the second baseman from the Kansas City Royals, Dylan Moore, the left fielder from the Seattle Mariners, and Jonathan Villar, the shortstop from the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm getting all these from MLB.com, by the way. And then in terms of batting average, Tim Anderson is leading the league in batting average, tied with DJ LeMahieu of the New York Yankees, Tim Anderson, the shortstop of the Chicago White Sox. They both have 373 batting averages on the season in the American League. And the top batting average in the National League goes to Freddie Freeman, the elite first baseman from the Atlanta Braves, who has a 352 batting average on the season in 50 games, who has the most games played out of the top 14 players, out of the 14 best players with the highest batting average. In terms of on-base percentage, Juan Soto leads the league in OBP with a 470 on-base percentage. The elite left fielder from Washington. In second place, the elite first baseman from Atlanta, Freddie Freeman, has a 465 on-base percentage in 16 more games. And in third place, Paul Goldschmidt, the elite first baseman from the St. Louis Cardinals, has a 439 on-base percentage for the season. Looking out to slugging, Juan Soto, the elite left fielder from the Washington Nationals, has a 708 slugging percentage on the year. In second, it is the elite first baseman from the Atlanta Braves, Freddie Freeman, who has a 648 slugging percentage on the year. And tied for third with a 643 slugging percentage, it is the designated hitter from the Minnesota Twins, Nelson Cruz, and Luke Voit, the first baseman from the New York Yankees. Last but not least, jumping out to the league leaders in OPS, Juan Soto has the league's highest OPS with an 1178 OPS in 34 games. In second is Freddie Freeman with an 1113 OPS in 50 games. And in third place, it's Nelson Cruz, the designated hitter from the Minnesota Twins, with a 1052 OPS in 48 games. And right before I jump into team stats, I'm going to jump into the individual pitching stats. Right now, the ERA king is Shane Bieber from the Cleveland Indians, who has a 1.53 ERA. The second best ERA in baseball goes to Trevor Bauer of the Cincinnati Reds, who has a 1.71 ERA in 58 innings pitched. And in third, it is Yu Darvish from the Chicago Cubs with a 1.86 ERA so far in the season. In terms of who's leading in wins, Shane Bieber, Yu Darvish, and Zach Davies from the San Diego Padres all have 7 wins on the season. In terms of who has the most losses on the year, Luke Weaver from the Arizona Diamondbacks and Trevor Williams from the Philadelphia Phillies both have 7. And then tied for third, you'll have Colby Allard from the Texas Rangers, Matthew Boyd from the Detroit Tigers, and German Marquez from the Colorado Rockies. Looking at who's had the most complete games this season, it's still right now. It's a 3-way tie. Trevor Bauer from the Cincinnati Reds, Garrett Cole from the New York Yankees, and Adam Wainwright from the St. Louis Cardinals have all pitched 2 complete games. In terms of who's leading the league in shutouts, of course, that is Trevor Bauer is the only pitcher in the league with 2 of them. On the season. Looking into the save leaders. Right now, Liam Hendriks of the Oakland A's leads the league in saves. He has 13 of them in 14 opportunities. In second, it's Brad Hand from the Cleveland Indians, who has 12 saves and 12 save opportunities. And tied for third, you have Alex Colomé of the Chicago White Sox, who has 11 saves and 12 opportunities. And Kenley Jansen from the Dodgers has 11 saves and 13 opportunities. Looking at innings pitched leaders, Lance Lynn has pitched the most innings. He's pitched 71.1 innings on the year so far. German Marquez of the Colorado Rockies is behind him with a 68.2, and he's rocking a 4.33 ERA. Lance Lynn's rocking a 2.40. And Lucas Giolito is third. He's pitched 66.1 innings on the year with a 3.53 ERA so far on the season. Looking into who's given up the most amount of hits on the season, German Marquez of the Colorado Rockies has given up 68 hits in 68 innings. And second is Aaron Savali of the Cleveland Indians, who's given up 64 hits in 64 innings. And Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs has given up 63 hits in 65.2 innings. And tied with him is Rick Porcello of the Mets, who's given up 63 hits in 49 innings. In terms of who's given up the most earned runs, Matthew Boyd of the Detroit Tigers and Jordan Lyles of the Texas Rangers are both tied for the lead. They've given up 37 runs. Matthew Boyd's done so in 49 innings, and Jordan Lyles done so in 42. And third place is Anibal Sanchez of the Washington Nationals, who's given up 35 runs in 42 innings. Not looking the best for him. But looking out to who's given up the most amount of home runs on the year, Tanner Roark from the Toronto Blue Jays has given up 14 home runs on the season, which is the most in baseball. And then tied in second are Matthew Boyd from the Detroit Tigers, Madison Bumgarner from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Garrett Cole of the elite pitcher from the New York Yankees have all given up 13 home runs on the season. In terms of who's hit the most batters, so far on the year, in terms of Thursday, September 17th, is Ryan Yarbrough of the Tampa Bay Rays. He's hit 7 batters. And tied for second is Lance Lynn of the Texas Rangers and Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants. They both hit 6 batters on the year. In terms of who's walked the most batters so far on the season, Robbie Ray has walked 37 batters in 43 innings, which leads baseball by a lot. In second place is Spencer Turnbull of the Detroit Tigers, who's walked 27 batters in 45 innings. And in third, it's Martin Perez for the Boston Red Sox, who's walked 26 batters in 52 innings. Now looking at the strikeout leaders, Shane Bieber is the only pitcher in baseball with more than 100 strikeouts so far. He struck out 102 batters so far in the season. In second, Garrett Cole, the elite pitcher from the New York Yankees, has struck out 87 batters on the season. And Lucas Giolito, the starting pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, has struck out 86 so far in the season. In terms of looking at walks and hits per innings pitched, the whip leaders, Kenta Maeda has a .74 whip on the season, which leads all of baseball so far. In second is Trevor Bauer with a .81 walks and hits per innings pitch. And in third, it is Shane Bieber with a .87 whip on the season. And last but not least, in terms of batting average against, Corbin Burns from the Milwaukee Brewers has the best batting average against. He has a .154 batting average against as a pitcher this season. Trevor Bauer is in second place with a .157 batting average against. And Kenta Maeda from the Minnesota Twins is third with a .158 batting average against. And right now I'm going to jump into the team stats, looking at who are the best hitting teams in baseball. Right now, the Atlanta Braves have the most runs in all of baseball, tied with the San Diego Padres with 286 on the year. And the Dodgers are second with they're third with 279 runs on the season. In terms of hits, the New York Mets lead the league in hits with 466 hits on the year. The Braves are second with 462, and the Chicago White Sox are third with 458. In terms of who's leading the league in doubles, the Atlanta Braves lead the league in doubles with 105 doubles. The Red Sox are second. They're the only other team with 100 doubles. They have 100 on the year. And the Tampa Bay Rays are third with 94 doubles on the year. Looking at who's leading in triples, So far, the Colorado Rockies have 13 triples on the year, the most in baseball. And then following them are the San Francisco Giants with 12, and tied for third are the Detroit Tigers and the San Diego Padres with 11 triples each as a team. Looking at home run leaders, right now the Dodgers have hit the most home runs as a team. They've hit 93. The San Diego Padres are second with 85, and the Atlanta Braves have hit the third most home runs. They've hit 84 on the year. Looking at the RBI leaders, the Atlanta Braves are the most RBIs in baseball with 279. The San Diego Padres are second with 276, and the Dodgers are third with 264 RBIs as a team. In terms of who's walked the most hitting, the Los Angeles Angels have been walked the most as a team. They've been walked 211 times. The Rays are second with 207, and the Oakland Athletics have been walked the third most amount of times with 202 walks. In terms of who's been struck out the most as a team, the Tampa Bay Rays have struck out 488 collective times as a team. The Chicago Cubs have struck out 482 in their second, and then the third place team of the Milwaukee Brewers, who have struck out 472 times. Looking at the stolen base leaders, right now the Padres and the Mariners lead the league in stolen bases. They both have a collective 44 stolen bases on the season, and the Texas Rangers are third with 40 stolen bases so far in the year. Looking at who's got caught stealing the most, the Royals have been caught stealing the most as a team. They've been caught stealing 16 times. The Seattle Mariners have been caught 14 times as a team, and they're second. And the third most team is the Miami Marlins. They've been caught 13 times stealing base. In terms of who has the best batting average as a team, the New York Mets, they have a 279 batting average as a team. They're first. The Chicago White Sox have a 272 batting average in baseball. They're second in the league, and then tied for third are the Atlanta Braves and the San Francisco Giants, who both have 268 batting averages as teams. And in terms of OBP, the New York Mets lead the league with a 354 on base percentage. The Atlanta Braves have a 344, and the Philadelphia Phillies have a 339 OBP, tied with the New York Yankees on the season. Looking out to the slugging percentage leaders, right now, it's the San Diego Padres, who have a 481 slugging percentage, leading all of baseball. The Atlanta Braves are second with a 479 slugging percentage. And then the Dodgers and the White Sox are tied for third with a 468 slugging percentage so far in the year. And then jumping out to OPS, the Atlanta Braves have the highest OPS as a team with an 823 OPS through 50 games. Following them are the San Diego Padres with an 819 OPS through 51 games. And in third place, it is the New York Mets with an 816 OPS through 40 games. And last but not least, I'm going to take you through the pitching stats. Right now, the Dodgers have the lowest team ERA in baseball with a 2.98 ERA. Second place are the Cleveland Indians with a 3.25, and the White Sox are third with a 3.46. In terms of who's had the most complete games as a team, the Cincinnati Reds have had 3 complete games, 2 of them with Trevor Bauer, and then tied for second are the Cubs, the Yankees, the Cardinals, and the Rangers, who all have 2 complete games as a team. In terms of shutouts, the Cleveland Indians have the most shutouts in baseball. They have 6. And then tied for second are the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago White Sox, the Cincinnati Reds, the Miami Marlins, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the San Diego Padres, who all have 5 shutouts on the season. And then looking at saves, the Tampa Bay Rays have had the most saves on the season. They have 18 saves and 25 opportunities. The Cleveland Indians have had 16 saves and 22. Tied with them are the Minnesota Twins with 16 and 22 as well. The Oakland A's had 16 saves and 19 opportunities. In terms of who's pitched the most innings right now so far, the Los Angeles Dodgers have pitched the most innings. They pitched 449. The Padres have pitched 443 complete innings, and the Angels have pitched 438 complete innings. In terms of hits allowed as a team, the Red Sox have given up 491 hits as a team. Following them are the Philadelphia Phillies, who have given up 461, and the Rockies, who have given up 457 thus far in the season. In terms of who's given up the most earned runs, the Boston Red Sox still lead baseball with 289. And second are the Detroit Tigers with 262. And following them are the Angels, who have 254 for the third most earned runs given up in baseball. In terms of home runs given up, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Boston Red Sox are tied with 86 home runs given up as a team. And the Tigers are third with 76 home runs given up. In terms of hit batters as a team, the Milwaukee Brewers have hit the most batters. They've hit 33 batters. The Mariners have hit 31, and they're second. And the Rockies tied with the Tigers in third. They both have hit 30 batters as a team. In terms of who's walked the most batters, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Red Sox have both walked 213 batters, and the Pirates are third, they've walked 208 batters. And looking at the strikeout leaders, the Cincinnati Reds lead the league in strikeouts with 514 of them. The Brewers are second with 505, and the Cleveland Indians come in third with 492 strikeouts as a team. And looking at team whip, the Los Angeles Dodgers have the best team whip in baseball with a 107. The Cleveland Indians have a 111 that's good enough for second. And the Padres and the Yankees, both with 121 whips, are both tied for third. And then looking at batting average against as a team in terms of pitching, the Los Angeles Dodgers have the lowest batting average against in terms of pitching in all of baseball with a 212. St. Louis Cardinals have a 216 batting average, and the Cincinnati Reds have a 218 batting average against as far as a pitching rotation. But with that said, with baseball being covered, looking out to the other games to look forward to today. The first game of week 2 football for the NFL is happening tonight as the Cincinnati Bengals take on the Cleveland Browns on NFL Network tonight. I know a lot of people are going to look forward to that one, that matchup between Baker Mayfield and Joe Burrow. They're going to see the matchup between two players that have won the Heisman, kind of carrying their AFC North teams, just to see how both players kind of stack out so far. Looking to the NBA just to see what's going on over there. The Miami Heat are going to take on the Boston Celtics tonight at 7 o'clock for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. After the Miami Heat took the last game to overtime and barely won by literally Bam Adebayo's fingertips. But that's a big game, of course, to look forward to in terms of just NBA playoff basketball. Looking out into hockey, just to give you a little bit of taste of what's going on out there. At 8 o'clock, the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to take on the New York Islanders on NBC Sports Network, so that's a game to look forward to in terms of the WNBA bubble and what to look out for with those scores, especially. The Phoenix Mercury are going to take on the Minnesota Lynx at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. And following that, the Connecticut Sun are going to take on the Los Angeles Sparks at 9 o'clock. With that said, there's not much more going on with sports. Once again, it is Thursday, September 17th, 2020. I'm James Sims, and this is The Elite. Once again, I thank you once again for hearing my piece, and peace out.